Please, family. This new wave right here is going to be about the vibrational link between you, the sun, and music. So having said that, let's go right in, okay? First of all, we're going to talk about the sun. So we should know, the family should know that we do venerate the sun here at Melanated Empire, and we have displayed that even the biblical scriptures, even the biblical representation of Jesus, if you may, is more so of the sun than of actually a historical character. All right. So the sun, we know, vibrated everything into existence because out of noon, out of the universe, then came the sun. Right. How do we know so? I mean, come on. We actually explained it. We showed through mythology how the ancestors left it, and even showed scientifically how this happened in our previous videos. Okay. The sun now, which is an atom. Okay. Atom Ra. An atom, we know, in the development stages of cells, if you may. From atoms, we have cells and we have molecules. So the sun actually contains molecules. And it has been shown and known, family, that molecules display temperature-dependent molecular vibration, which emanates a radiation. All this is basically saying is that molecules vibrate. And when they vibrate, they obviously let out, some kind of radiation, kind of like an electromagnetic field. So having said that, the sun in itself does the very same thing. I mean, if one is very familiar with solar gazing, if you do solar gaze, at times you will actually see the sun pulsating. You will see sort of like a serpent going around the sun, pulsating, family. Okay? So the sun actually vibrates, all right? It vibrated everything into existence. And that vibration it gives off is actually radiates and sends it out into the universe and towards Earth. So just like a drum, family, a drum actually is an instrument which is combined of the two domains in the four domains of life. We went through this. So the drum is actually a combination of zoology, which is the animal kingdom, and botany, which is the plant kingdom. So we have the bottom of the drum, the base, and then we have the top, which is actually the goat skin from the animal kingdom. Right? So just as a drum actually lets out a vibration, family. Now, vibrations, family, are waves of energy. The amount of waves we have per unit of time, is called frequency. So if you have 3 waves within a minute period, right, that is the frequency of that wave. Now, we can also have the speed of the frequency as well. And we can also have the altitude, which we showed in our previous videos, which is the height and the descent of that very same wave. Now, this vibration we are speaking about, family, which emanates from the sun, comes in 2 forms, right? It comes in the form of gases, which we refer to as prominences. These gases actually leave the sun and go out into the universe and also have an effect on the psychological being of us here on Earth. And the other part is the light, which comes in the form of the electromagnetic spectrum. Okay? This electromagnetic spectrum we did break down also carries a certain type of waves called radio waves. And radio waves are a certain type of radiation that carries sound messages, family. Again, this is how the sun actually communicates with us. So just hold that thought. This light that the sun gives off, okay, through a prism, it actually gives us the 7 colors, right? You can see it even in the rainbow when we have a drizzle rain. Rain actually slows down the light and we can actually break down the colors to us. Now, these colors is also vibrational frequencies from the sun, all right? So the very first color, red, is when the sun is vibrating at 432 terahertz frequency. And from red, we go to orange, yellow, green, and we move up within the vibration. So every time it goes up to another color, the numbers move up as well. All right? So keep that in mind. The sun affects us in many ways. I mean, we just touched upon solar gazing. So if you solar gaze, right, upon sunrise and sunset, it will actually stimulate your pineal gland. That is having an effect on the human body. The sun is actually responsible for the creation of vitamin D and also stimulation of our melanocyte cells, which produces more melanin, family. So we know that the sun is linked to us and it gives us life, is a life giver directly and indirectly. These prominences, the electromagnetic spectrum, according to its vibration emanating from that sun, have an effect on us as light beings. Because don't forget, while we are light beings, our physical structure in this third dimension is still composed of what? Atoms and cells. So if you have to watch your skin under a microscope, you will see that it's not actually solid, right? It's different cells vibrating and which appears solid because they are so compact together, family, which is the very same way the wavelengths from the sun, right? When they get more compact, then the color changes, right? So these colors, the electromagnetic spectrum, and the prominences, right, the gases, have an effect on our energy centers or our melanin clusters, referred to in Sanskrit as chakras. Shock. You get shock? Shock, chakras, chakra. So it's like you shock and ra, I mean, ra is light. So some light vibe is actually getting some shock or some vibration. You see what I'm saying? So your chakras, which are your energy centers, are basically getting a shock from the sun and from these gases, which stimulates them, family, which can either sway towards opening them or actually closing them. And also that actually depends on your lifestyle and what you are going through within this dimension as well. Okay, so this is the vibrational link between you and the sun. So what happens is these light vibrations, because remember the light, I mean red is when the sun is vibrating at 432 terahertz. These light vibrations, according to their modulation in frequency, is having an effect on your energy centers and your chakra systems, family. Which also, I mean, if it is metaphysical, will ultimately have an effect on your physical and how you behave. Each color, family, resonates with a sound. Now, we are not speaking about the meditation sounds with what they refer to as the mantras. We're actually referring to not the 12, but the 7 musical tonal scale. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. I mean, I don't know how many of my viewers are familiar with the movie Sound of Music. Through the Sound of Music, you should have, I mean, learned what that do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do is. You want me to sing it for you? Okay. He's saying do, a day, a female day. I mean, how does that correlate? Do is a female version of a day, right? So do, a day, a female day. Ray, like sun rays, a drop of golden sun. Me, do, re, mi, right? Me is a name I call myself. And fa, a long, long way to run. Everybody sounds familiar, right? Do, re, mi, fa, so, a needle through thread. So is that?
A needle pulling thread.
A needle pulling thread. Give thanks, goddess. So, a needle pulling thread. La, a note to follow so. Right? T, to eat with jam and bread. That will bring us back to do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So I'm basically saying all of this to deliberate to you that the 7 tonal musical scale, right? I mean, they say it's 8, but it's actually 7 because the first do and the last do is basically the same. One is just symbolic of dematerialization, one is symbolic of materialization. One is symbolic of ascension, one is symbolic of descension. So it's sort of like the infinity symbol which intertwines with each other, sort of like a polarity, family, right? So it's really 7. So that 7, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, is also in resonance with the 7 vibrational colors we have from the very same sun, which affects us because we have these energy centers which resonate with those colors, family, and that sound vibration. Okay, so this is how sound is actually in correlation to us and to the sun. This is why we love it, right? So now, in 1834, apparently for some reason, the very same year that they released us from chattel slavery, they changed, okay, what is referred to as the miracle tone of nature, 432 hertz, to 440, right? This is in music, I mean in the music industry. So the same year that they released us from slavery, they went ahead and changed that. Ironic, isn't it? So it is kind of like a spiritual vibrational warfare as well, family. Now I know a lot of us listen to shit, I mean, because, you know, different music at different times resonate with different moods, right? But while you listen to shit, we should also be listening to meditational tones and music, especially chakra stimulation tones. Take, for example, I just said that if you listen to 432, it's referred to as the miracle tone of nature. If you listen to 528 hertz frequency, it actually repairs DNA, right, family? So all these different tones and frequencies, even why you would actually see some of hieroglyphs with of the ancestors with tuning forks. Okay, these are kind of like just a U-shaped fork and it has a handle, and you have kind of, you know, a piece of wood with some contraption at the end that you can actually hit the tuning fork, and it produces different type of tones that resonate with you. Because I mean, sound basically is an auditory impression, and an auditory impression basically is when you have a vibration, because certain vibrations and sounds we cannot hear, family. They have dogs that hear certain sounds that we cannot hear, so we can actually start to perceive sound at a certain vibration. Okay, so sound vibration, all of it resonates with us because, as we said earlier, molecules display temperature dependent molecular vibration. So while your aura, okay, which is your own personal energy stimulating from within, resonates and can actually reach at a certain distance from the body, these sounds and vibrations, family, can also have an effect and stimulation on you. Why? Because you are basically an organ. You are an organism. So let's have a look at the organs in the human anatomy. We have a heart. Okay, what does your heart do? Your heart beats. What else beats? A drum, right? You have vocal cords. Cords are basically strings that you play. You have air drums, you know, drums as well, family. Okay, so basically, apart from an amalgamation of tissues, which is what an organ is, what else is an organ? An organ is kind of like a percussion instrument that is played. And now, you as an organism, what is your largest organ? What is your biggest organ? It is your skin. Okay, and if we're talking about an organ is a percussion instrument to be played, we have what we call the air wind. The ancestors refer to it as shu, which naturally blows, which is the spirit, okay, which passes through you, family. So you are basically producing a musical tone vibration yourself, which is why when sometimes you enter a room, some people can just pick up your vibration, same speed. You see what I'm saying? So this is basically the vibrational link between you, the sun, and music. So in that regard, family, music affects us psychologically and also affects us physically as well, right? So with all these instruments playing, we're producing our own sound via the wind through our organs, also receiving different vibrational frequencies through the sun and through nature, family. Make sure, okay, that we basically leave this world on a good note, right? And I mean, the divine is basically the universe. Universe, we get verses in songs. Uni is one song, family. So make sure you vibrating in tune with that divine sound of the universe. And having said that, peace, love, and peace.